Okay, on the red fox, this is another one that really varies so much. I mean, there's such a big difference between the color and the length and everything. So what we've got here is we've got a couple with decent weight. Okay, this one's actually a little thinner. It's got a long nap. It's not as thick underneath, but this is more of what you consider a cherry. Okay, you've got this nice dark red. You don't have too much of that straw look on the rump, but there is some there. If you got rid of that straw down there and it was this nice dark color all the way, then you'd really have something. This fox could have been a little bit more prime. You see right up in here, it's a little weak here on the collar, but it's got good length. It'll dress up nice. It'll make a decent looking skin. This one is actually a little bit heavier. It's got heavier underfur, but it's shorter napped. Okay, and this one's to the point where when they get real heavy, like we talked about on coyotes, getting brush beat and losing their guard hairs, this one's not brush beat. When the fox get this heavy, the underfur just basically separates the guard hair, and it's going to make it look a little bit weak on the sides. But it's got nice density. See, if you look down this back, you don't have the groove down the back. You see, you've got a groove down the back on this one. You know, the color makes this a nice fox. The fur isn't as good as this one, but when you're prime enough, you don't have that groove, and up here you've got good length right up here on the collar. Okay, the problem with this particular one, pay attention to your pelt handling. Don't leave long legs on fox. Don't leave long legs on coon. The legs were left long and I ripped it. Okay, because of that long leg sticking out there when I'm going in the bags, I ended up tearing the fox. So trim your legs short or split them out and lay them out flat, one or the other. Don't leave long legs like this sticking out on your fox or your coon, either one. Because, I mean, you can see how this happens. You're putting stuff in a bag and this one's in here and you shove the next one and it catches under here and it's going to rip it. So, nice fox, but you know, we got damage on it now just because of that tear. But that's what you're looking for. When you're looking at a red fox, you're looking at something that doesn't have this big groove down the back. It's got full coverage on the sides. The neck has good coverage. It's got good length. And you've still got good coverage right here, this section through here. So you got length and you got underfur. We're going to show you here in a second what happens when they're tick bit, how this changes right up in through here. Okay, here's a couple of examples. Nice fox, good color, right up in here. I can feel it. There's starting to be a little bit of tick bites. It might be a little weaker in here. It's not quite as big of a fox, but it's not a bad fox until you look at this spot right here where you've lost your guard hairs. He's rubbing there. Okay, kind of in the same league. This is not a big fox. It's got a lot more of that straw color coming right up the back, and you can see there's a groove in there. You don't have the length, you don't have the density underfur making this stand up. Got a good collar on it. Doesn't feel like it's tick bit. So this would still go in the 1s and 2s. It's just a little bit smaller fox. Not quite as heavy, a little bit smaller, but that's still going to go in the 1s and 2s. Okay, now we're going to get down to the worst stuff. Okay, we're getting down to where we're tick bit. Now, you see right through here, check that out. A lot of times you can even feel scabs down under there.
Oh yeah.
But see, there was no guard hair and the underfur is thinned out. Okay, this is going to be the result of the ticks right here through the back. This doesn't look too bad, but when this is dressed, you're going to have this whole section right through here that's not going to be usable for really anything. Okay, so that's what happens, you know, when the ticks are getting them. So this one has it a little bit too. It's not as bad as this one. This one's just a little bit weaker overall. Okay, this one is, some people call them a smoky. This is actually considered a bastard fox in the industry. You see the dark across here? Okay, it can be a little bit worse than that even. You can have that dark coming up a little bit higher. And in the old days, this is going to get thrown way out just because of that dark. In today's market with the crafters, these will bring more than a regular red fox because it's unique. It's got that smoky look to it, that dark look on there. This particular one is a little bit weak here, but you don't see the lacking guard hairs through here like you do on one that's tick bit bad. So this is a nice fox actually, and people worry about the dark on the belly. That doesn't matter. You know, some of them have a dark belly, and with this one you even look in the tail, tends to be a little dark. It's all because of the genetics that gave it this, you know, to make it a bastard fox. And then we're down to, you know, a hard 3, maybe even a 4. There's nothing here. Okay, there's a scab right there and one there from the ticks, but there's nothing here. It's very weak. It's a small fox. It just doesn't, there's not a good fur. It's just such an early fox that it's not going to be desirable at all. And now what we'll do for the comparison so you guys can see it. When you put them side by side, now you guys come up and check those out. It's harder to see when you're working downhill, but when you put the good by the bad, then it sticks out like a sore thumb. You know, from this one to the next isn't bad, from that the next to the next isn't bad, but when you got these together, you feel that you see the difference in the length, the nap, and the density underneath.
Yeah.
I say red fox is so subjective when it comes to the grading, and the market is starting to pick back up on a little bit now, but it's still, the crafter market is driving the red fox to a big degree right now. Size, as you see, there's a huge difference in the size. Pull up the noses. Okay, you know, you got a big difference in the size, the length, and the width, and that'll come into play too, just because of the sizing factor. But for red fox, I think we got it pretty well covered on them. I say very difficult, and it's the biggest opinion out there among graders is red fox. You know, so many people look at them different ways.